Hey! So, the killer dropped on PTB. Who's excited? I know I am. I'm gonna go over perks and such, a bunch of random information about them. So, perk info. First perk, Fast Track. This is the level 1 version, so I will leave that here, but I'm going to read the level 3 version. And I'm going to do that for all the perks. Sometimes the sacrifice of others is necessary to get ahead. Whenever another survivor is hooked, you gain 3 tokens. Again, this is the level 3 version that I'm reading. You consume all tokens after a great skill check on a generator. Each token consumed grants a 1% bonus progression for great skill checks for repairing generators. It doesn't seem that there is any cap, which means if you have 3 of your survivor friends all get hooked once, that's 9 tokens, which is 9% that you gain. And each percent is, I believe, 0.8 seconds. Not my math, by the way. Anything like that comes from people like Otstarva. 0.8 seconds, so 9 times 0.8, 7.2 seconds saved. That's good. That's really good. Alright, so smash hit. When your rival makes a mistake, you seize the opportunity. After stunning the killer with a pallet, break into a sprint at 150% your normal running speed for 3 seconds. Causes the exhausted status effect for 40 seconds. This perk cannot be used while exhausted, so it's an exhaustion perk, if you couldn't tell. It works like Lithe, like Balanced, Sprint Burst, Dead Hard, all of that. But instead of proccing off of things like vaulting or falling or just using it Sprint Burst, Dead Hard when you're injured, this happens off of pallet stuns. I personally don't think this is going to be crazy, but I think it's a very good iteration of an exhaustion perk. I think it's going to be very good for anti-tunneling or getting out of a chase when you really need to be out. But, for example, it has a similar effect to Lithe. So it's not bad by any means. I'm not personally very excited for it. And next one, self-preservation. Life's unforgiving. The more confirmation you get of that, the more prepared you become. Whenever another survivor within 12 meters of you gets hit by a basic attack or a special attack, self-preservation activates. Your scratch marks are hidden for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a long time. That's a long time. The downside, it does not cover up any other sounds or any other visuals. So if you're injured, they'll still hear you. They just won't see scratch marks, stuff like that. And you have to be within 12 meters. That's not far, but that's not very close either. But it basically gives you that poised, or the LED perk that's slipping my tongue right now. Or the LED perk that's slipping my mind right now. Just remove scratch marks for 10 seconds. That's pretty good. That's a good perk. It's not broken, but I'm definitely very happy with that perk personally. Now on to the goods. The Trickster. Very excited for him. 4.4 meters per second, so 110% movement speed, very standard. 24 meter terror radius, so that's a bit on the smaller side compared to the 32 meter people. Average height, that's the height, so not doctor, not trapper, kind of like a hag, kind of, just that shorter stature, but not short, obviously, average height. Let's go over his perks, yeah? So Starstruck, your unmatched showmanship dazzles all. Starstruck activates when you are carrying a survivor. Survivors within your terror radius suffer from the exposed status effect for 30 seconds. Starstruck cools down for 90 seconds once the survivor is no longer carried. This has multiple implications that I'm personally very excited for. You pick them up, all survivors within your terror radius are exposed. So if you have a huge terror radius, distressing, a monitor if you're in chase, huge, monstrous. On killers that can move quickly at any capacity, huge, great. Except for maybe Legion, because he has to power out. But like Nurse, Spirit, Hillbilly can use Chainsaw to get close, and then M1, or just Chainsaw, which is always good. Amazing. This also completely prevents body blocking. If they body block, they will go down instantly. Another thing, Notice, Starstruck cools down for 90 seconds once a survivor is no longer carried. Now, I don't know if that means that if it's on cooldown and you pick up if it stops, or if it keeps going. But if it does not stop, that means what you could do is pick up a survivor, yeah? Everyone's exposed. Put them down immediately. That cooldown will start, and then you can go chase exposed survivors. That could be insane. It basically gives you a no contestation run to a hook. Or again, you can put them down, go kill people. If it's not, it would be even more powerful if after doing that, when you pick them back up, the cooldown keeps ticking down. If it stops, that's still honestly not even that bad, because I mean, in theory, if you were to just walk to the hook and hook someone, you've lost as much of the cooldown as you would have anyway. So really, not that bad. I think it's very, very good. Next one, Hex Crown Control. I also really like this perk. A hex that ensures those lesser than you are properly herded. The entity blocks a window for 14 seconds after a survivor performs a rushed vault through it. That's insane. Bamboozle on steroids. So you're chasing someone, yeah? They hit a structure with 2 windows. If they vault both, rushed, it has to be rushed. No slow vaulting, but if they vault both rushed, they both will get blocked for 14 seconds. Both windows gone. Not only that, this is map wide. Map wide. So it doesn't matter if they're in your terror radius. It doesn't matter if they're in chase. None of that. If they vault quickly, blocked 14 seconds. As many windows as you want. Absolutely bonkers. The last one, and my personal favorite because I think it's absolutely freaking insane. No Way Out. You're not going to let just anyone into the VIP room. Each time you hook a unique survivor, No Way Out gains a token. When the last generator is repaired, the entity blocks both exit gate switches for 10 seconds for each token in your possession. Absolutely insane. Remember me? Garbage. I mean, unless you stack it with this. Otherwise, garbage. Stacking it with this, though, it's honestly a bit overkill, because if you get all 4 survivors hooked, barbecue style, you need each one. That's 40 seconds. They can't even touch the exit gate. And then with Remember Me, it could take longer. But 40 seconds, they can't even touch it. Not only does this mean that the endgame collapse now becomes a very real thing that survivors have to worry about, rather than just baiting you somewhere and doing it, having someone off on the other side of the map do it. Not only that, but closing hatch, the survivor that remains, instead of having to just run from you like they normally do, and then hopefully find a gate, trick you, do some cool stuff, they have to run from you for 40 seconds before they can even try and leave. So if this procs off of a hatch closing, there's no way. They wouldn't let that happen, I wouldn't feel. Because if it procs off of a hatch closing, that would then waste 40 seconds of the in-game timer, and I feel like that's not fair. So we'll have to see how that works. I'm not quite sure on that one, honestly. But still, either way, absolutely insane perk. And now for the big money. Showstopper. This thing is insane. I love this power. It is so cool. A mesmerizing skill honed through a lifetime of practice, Jiwon Hak, I apologize for my pronunciation, unleashes a flurry of knives with rapid fire speed. Start the trial with 60 blades. Press and hold the power button to wind up, power button is M2, and enter the throw state. While in the throw state, tap the attack button, M1, to throw a single blade, or if you hold down M1, you unleash a flurry of blades. So basically you just go rapid fire. Throwing a flurry increases control and throw rate while decreasing movement speed. Now that's not true. I don't like that sentence, because When throwing rapid fire, you have recoil, as if this is an FPS game and you're always shooting a gun. When you throw rapid fire, you naturally go up, so it does not increase control at all. Anyways, you restock blades at lockers, hunter style. Easy. Laceration meter. A survivor's laceration meter increases each time they're hit by a blade. Once the meter is filled, they will lose a health state, either becoming injured or downed. The survivor's laceration meter will gradually decrease if they have not been hit by a blade for a short time. Hitting a survivor with a basic attack will immediately decrease their laceration meter. So basically, they have a HUD that appears around them once they've been hit once. And that HUD slowly goes darker and darker until it hits red. And then once it's red, the next time they're hit with the knife, they're down. It takes 7 to get them to red. The 8th knife downs them. That's if, of course, you don't leave them be and let it decrease, because it can decrease over time if you don't hit them. The knives have nearly no range. If they do have a max range, it's crazy far. It's absolutely insane. You can snipe people with these things. It's absolutely bonkers. Forgot to mention earlier, when prepping knives, holding M2, movement speed does not go down. Throwing a knife, don't believe decreases your movement speed, but rapid firing does decrease your movement speed for sure. So make sure that you keep accounting for that when you're trying to mind game people. If you're rapid firing, you're slow. So special ability, main event. It's like an ultimate, basically. Each blade hit fills the event meter. Once full, main event can be activated by pressing the ability button, which is left control. In this mode, the Trickster temporarily unleashes his full potential, wielding an unlimited number of blades. So no ammo to worry about. You just go. His throw rate is significantly increased, and let me tell you, it's fast, and his movement speed does not slow down while in the throw state. So basically, he runs at normal speed while throwing, and he throws crazy fast with no ammo. Main event, you will, if you play your cards right, you will down at least the survivor you're chasing, if not another afterwards. Absolutely insane. The only downside is when you're done with main event, you have 0 ammo. So if you finish main event and you're still chasing someone, or you need to chase someone else, you have no ammo. You have to stop to get ammo. That's the only real downside that comes from that. Otherwise, main event, absolutely insane. So yeah, that is the new killer. If you want to get more information, there's other content creators out there that do wonderful jobs and are much more in depth than I am. But again, I'm doing this because this is the style that I like, and I know I would enjoy something like this in order to just get a quick grasp and go. So yeah, there is the new killer and survivor. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and I will try and answer them as quickly as possible.